Britain are ready. The starter raises his flag. This is the beginning of the second heat of the men's coxed pairs, with Great Britain in lane 1, Cuba in 2, Bulgaria in 3, Germany in 4, and Romania on the far side from the camera. We're looking at them now in lane 5. Great Britain represented here by the Searle brothers, Jonathan and Greg, and coxed by Gary Herbert.
A great deal of importance attaches to this particular race. The selectors decided to put the brothers Searle into this particular boat. They're two very talented athletes who could have been used very efficiently in either the 8s or the 4s. They've won bronze medals together as a part of the British 8 last year, and they have the potential to spring a real surprise here. They've only taken part in 2 early regattas in the coxed pair, but they've shown a great turn of speed, particularly in the last half of the course. But they want to demonstrate today that they can stay with the field through the first half and then pounce in the second.
Coming towards the 500-meter mark, and as far as it's possible to judge from a shot which is not directly across the lanes, Romania in the lead, the Germans Thomas Vodov in the bow and Mikhail Peters the stroke, and Great Britain nearest to the camera, clearly well in touch. Had problems judging the pace in Lucerne, the Searle brothers. Romania through first. Britain maybe just ahead of Germany in second place. Just 0.4 of a second advantage over the Germans. Cuba in 4th and Bulgaria in 5th. That's the lineup at 500 meters in this heat of the men's coxed pairs.
And it's very promising. That's exactly where they should be. In Lucerne, they were probably another length back, which made it extremely difficult for them to catch up in the second half. One just hopes they've not done too much in this first 500 meters.
Cubans here with enormous stroke man, Arnaldo Rodriguez Silva, 16 stone 5.
Romanians still leading, but they're only holding about a half-length lead over Great Britain. The Germans marginally behind in 3rd.
Jonathan Searle, 3 years older than his brother.
This is very much the big men's event. It's a power event. There's been some criticism of putting the Searles, even though Greg Searle at stroke is a very big man in his own right, at some 6'5" and about 100 kilos. Jonathan, his brother, is rather slimmer of build, but they're very dynamic. They've done extremely well so far. Let's hope they're not going to fade off the pace. This is exactly what they set out to do today.
This is the 1,000-meter mark then in the second heat of the men's coxed pairs, with Romania, Popescu and Targa leading in lane 5. The Searle brothers, coxed by Gary Herbert, in a very good position in second place. Ahead now by about half a length from the Germans, with Cuba in 4 and the Bulgarians back in 5th. Only the winner goes directly to the semi-final, the rest to the repechage, but maybe the Searle brothers wouldn't be too distressed at having another race. Their problem is inexperience in this particular event, and with every race they not only get more knowledgeable, but they seem to get better.
Yes, there are 2 intelligent rowers here, and they're great racers. I think they've done what they set out to do here, which is to stay well with the field. They'll want to be able to consolidate that and show that they're going to be able to stay through and then use their considerable finishing speed, which they probably hold back at least until the final. The Romanians over on the far right of the picture have made a bit of a push here. They've burst on a bit. They're trying to extend their lead. They were sitting on about a bare length. It's the British pair.
race is not quite as close as that angle makes it look. 500 metres to go. Heat 2 of the men's coxed pairs, and Jonathan and Greg Searle for Great Britain in lane 1, well in the hunt, chasing the Romanian pair, Dimitri Popescu and Nicolae Targa. Less than 2 seconds, that's about a boat length, separating Romania from Great Britain.
I think they're going to have a go. They've started to raise their rate. I think they think the Romanians may be within reach, and there's that prize. If they can get through, if they can win, they can get to the semi-final. The question is whether the Romanians are going to fight them off. I think they're going to have a struggle in this last 250 metres or so to go.
Searle brothers, who misjudged the first 500 metres at Lucerne, came so powerfully, so excitingly in the last 500 metres there. The interesting thing is whether they still have it left here, whether indeed they will feel the need to produce it. Coxed by Gary Herbert, who coxed the bronze medal 8 at the last World Championships.
So they're back to half a length. They're coming through. They're coming through.
And we really have a race here, and we have enormous encouragement for Great Britain. The Searle brothers, so inexperienced but so full of potential, really going at the Romanians. And we've got 50 metres to go. Romania, Great Britain, Romania on the far side, Great Britain on the near, and it is absolutely neck and neck, and I think the Brits are going to do it. Searle brothers first, directly to the semi-final. A big cheer from the British supporters here. They have rode through Popescu and Targa, the very experienced Romanians, in the last 500 metres, showing now not only the finishing power, but the judgment over 2,000 metres. Cuba in third.
And the time of 6:54.31. Well, technically it can't be an Olympic record, but it's certainly an Olympic best, and a very, very promising start for John and Greg Searle, who go straight through to the semi-finals.